What is up, guys? I am so excited to finally be here on Championship Sunday of Hypefestation 3. I am joined today with Rain. Rain, how you doing today, man?
Great. How about yourself?
I'm doing phenomenal. Finally here, guys. You don't understand. I have been literally dying to be here all weekend. Busy weekend, of course. A little bit of work, a little bit of play, but I wish I could have been here from day one, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, you had a wedding to go to, didn't you?
I did. So I had a wedding yesterday. I wanted to come. My plan was, this is what was going on through my head. I said, I'm going to eat dinner, maybe shake some hands, make people laugh, say hi, whatever, and then leave after dinner. That's what I said. 9 o'clock, I'm out of there. Be here by midnight. Couple Greek dances later, a couple shots of ouzo later, and was not able to come last night. Woke up at 6 in the morning this morning, which was tough to do. Glad to finally be here, though. It's been super exciting. Today is an awesome day. You can tell the energy is on everyone's faces. We're super excited to be here. So
yeah, I had kind of an interesting way getting here, too, as well. I got off at 3 o'clock yesterday. I was like, I'm 2 hours away. I think I'll come up. I went home. I got 3 pairs of clothes. I went to an ATM, got like $200 out, and then got like my toothbrush and stuff. I was on my way. So
was it planned or was it like a spontaneous?
No, it was spontaneous. I was watching the stream after I got off work, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go. So it was nice being in Indiana and being able to get here.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did.
For sure.
See some Gears action live.
Definitely. So before we jump into the matches, guys, let's do a quick introduction so you guys know who we are. First, I'm going to introduce yourself, Rain.
Yeah, I'm Tanner or Tanner Rain. Gears 1 and 2, MLG Pro. Now, I guess, spectator/commentator for doing some work for Hypefestation right now.
Yes, sir. Rain is known for back when in our we grew. Essentially, there's a group of us in Gears of War. It's like me, Atmo, Rain, Bullet, Genetics that are the same age.
And we started off as the young kids, like 15 years old. Now we're old.
It's crazy. We literally grew up together. Like it's just
8 years ago.
Yeah,
it's been almost a decade.
It has been. And Rain was the one in his youth. His parents weren't the most supportive of competitive gaming.
Not.
So Rain, every event, Rain was a god online. He played very well. Everyone wanted to team with him. He went from team to team. You were like the team hopper too back in those days. And before every event, maybe like 3 days a week, it was always different.
It was before 2 different ones.
Before 2 events. I'm going to give you those. Last minute, he had an excuse, death in the family, this and that. We do know the truth now, which was...
my parents cared a lot more about baseball than they did Gears back then.
There you go. So I was actually on one of those teams. We were teaming for MLG Orlando 07. Picked up Nick Merckx last minute and actually ended up working out. We got 5th place or 6th place.
Yeah, Nick turned out to be a decent Gears of War player.
In his day, he's done well. He's done well for himself. So
he's still good.
Yeah, and then of course, guys, my name is Fallout. John Fallout. You guys can call me whatever. Former Gears of War 1, 2. Professional player with MLG, played Gears of War 3 competitively. I guess you can't really say professionally anymore. Was a member of Team Envious, NBN. Most of you guys probably heard of Envious from the Call of Duty scene. They ventured into Gears, which was awesome. Picked up my team, which was MBN, and we competed at Hypefestation 2. We took home 4th place that event. That was, of course, me, Nick Merckx, Prospect, and High Distortion back then, which was an interesting experience, to say the least. I wouldn't trade it for the world, though. I had an awesome time. With those guys, we grinded really hard. Didn't get first like we were expecting, but so that's my gaming background, my competing background. And then after then, game wasn't picked up by MLG. Decided to jump into a community role, commentate as much as I can, and really just help out wherever help is needed. Obviously, we're all very passionate about Gears of War. The fact that we're here today is a result of a lot of passion jumbled into one thing called Hypefestation. Non-profit business model, guys. Of course, we're not even close to making money. We're losing money off of this thing. But we just love being here. We love the game, and there's a bright future, I think, with Black Tusk Studios.
Yeah, it was awesome. They came out this weekend. They interviewed some players. They got some feedback, and, it was just awesome to see. I don't think Gears players have ever had access to developers like they had this weekend. A couple people went out before Gears 3, but the game was pretty much done by then. This game is probably at the foundations right now, and just being able to have a little bit of input is just awesome for the community.
Unreal. Actually, when I introduced myself and shook Steptoe's hand, Steptoe, of course, is the new Gears of War community manager. He's going to be working with Black Tusk, and phenomenal guy. Just in a 10-minute conversation with him, you could tell he has a lot of passion. He has a lot of smart direction as to where he wants to take this game. And in that conversation, we even mentioned, just like you said, I will say, in the past 2 days of him being here, we have accomplished more with the developers than we did in 7 years with Epic Games. We had more conversations with them.
We used to be considered almost like a nuisance or something, or like a very small niche. But at the bottom of this, I think it's just a bunch of people who love Gears and pretty much put their lives on hold. The work that Jason and everyone else do to put these events on is unbelievable.
Yeah, seriously.
And it's not like he's getting any fame or money out of this. He's just doing it because he loves Gears, loves the community, just a good, hardworking guy.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yep. So here's what I'll say: 3 key players or organizations that are the reason this is live right now. If it wasn't for these 3 key players, we wouldn't even be here. 1, Jason Barbosa. We got to give our hats off to Jason Barbosa, guys. At Captain Barbosa on Twitter. He's the hype captain. He's the reason we're here. He took over Hypefestation after Hypefestation 2 when CDN, Caesar, a couple of the players decided to opt out. Wasn't worth their time, and he took it. Took a couple years before he organized his official event, but when it finally happened, and he's been rolling ever since.
Yeah, 3 events now.
3 events now. Amazing guy. If you do not know him, you should know him. He is the godfather of Gears of War currently. He really is.
Yep.
Number 2. Black Tusk Studios. We cannot say it enough. Black Tusk actually sponsored this event, guys. $3,000 not to pay us or to pay event fees or event venues. That is entirely for the prize pool, for these players that are playing. So that actually says a lot, right? That says that Black Tusk actually invests in the players playing their game. They really want to invest in the community.
It's one thing for them to come here, but to throw money, they know, need to throw us money or they don't get anything out of it. It's just they're supporting the Gears community. It's awesome.
Seriously. Yeah, and then number 3, of course, this stage where we're at right now, eBash, Indianapolis. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad this partnership was formed.
This setup is just awesome.
Unreal,
I feel
guys.
like I'm on SportsCenter or something right now. ESPN.
Seriously. eBash Indianapolis, if you guys don't know what eBash is, it's a video game LAN center. They're trying to create the premier LAN center in North America.
Yeah, I think there's 3 in Indiana right now. There's one in Evansville, one in Terre Haute, and one in Indianapolis.
And then one
in
Charleston, Illinois as well.
Oh, really? Wow, there's 4 now. Yeah, eBash is awesome. I worked at one for a while. I've been going to LANs and tournaments at them for going on 7 years now, and these places are just awesome. So if you have a chance to get out to an eBash, go out and support them because they are a great business and LAN center.
Definitely. And the guy, the man at the helm, you want to talk a little bit about him? You worked under him for a while. Zach Bo Johnson?
Zach. I didn't work directly with him, but I worked for eBash Evansville, which is under him, and he's just an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Runs all the tournaments.
Has a great vision for what esports is going to be, what it wants to be.
He's grew eBash from 1 store to 4 now, and not a very long time.
Yeah, seriously.
And LAN centers are a pretty niche thing, and his have all been successful, which just speaks to how smart and hardworking he is.
Seriously. So either way, if you live in the Midwest or you don't, eBash is going to be big one day. Give them a follow on Twitter, guys. Thank them for having us. They've been amazing. They've been more than amazing. Paying for hotel, for conference rooms, it's very expensive, and they were very reasonable in terms of us being here, and they've been more than accommodating. So at eBash on Twitter, you can see the logo right behind us. Definitely show support. Once again, the 3 key players, Barbosa, huge shout out to him. Black Tusk Studio, sponsoring the event. We would not be here if it was not for them. And then, of course, eBash, physically, we would not be here in this location.
And it's not that we're just here. The setup for this is awesome. We got a main stage. We got multiple stations. There's Astro Mix amps everywhere.
Yep.
It's just unbelievable.
I wish you guys, hopefully we'll be able to flip the camera around. You guys can see the crowd, the chairs. I had a couple guys, so I'm not sure if you guys heard, but I've been tweeting a little bit. I host a Microsoft 2 versus 2 Call of Duty Summer Series. A couple of those guys from that Call of Duty series, they'd never played Gears of War in their life. They actually came out today as well. And that goes to show, guys, Gears of War, it's such an entertaining game to watch, fun to play, of course. But it has the potential to be huge, and it's really up to us, the community, to make that happen.
And I think we're about to hop in on this first match.
Yes, sir.
So let's get some Gears.
So without further ado, glad to be here, guys. Welcome to Hypefestation Day 3. We are kicking off with some Gears of War 1 action. I was waiting to say that. I'm super excited to finally cast. I've never casted Gears 1 before. I've obviously played quite a few games of Gears of War 1 in my day. How excited are you?
I'm really excited to get to see Flame, Supreme, Praise, Octanes. And we have Venom here from TLR and Frag D. No one has seen Venom in 6 years, and here he is playing Gears 1 on LAN. So
he's playing under Mr. Cardwell, VNom. I actually, when Rain backed out, I actually replaced Rain with TLR. Played with VNom. He played a great game. So we're on board right now, guys, with Flames. We're going to jump into some Gears of War 1 action to warm you guys up. 4 teams in this tournament, and then we're going to jump right back into Gears 3, kicking off with Flames on Gridlock.
Yeah, it looks like their team's running a 2-2 right now, 2 to snipe, 2 to boom.
Okay. Yep, so 2-2 is pretty standard on Gridlock and Gears 1. We see VNom picking up a kill on Praise, 3 versus 3 situation, and Flames is getting pushed by 3, and he is staying, and he's going to keep fighting, but there's a flank coming. They don't even realize that they're getting flanked. Let's see what can happen. Oh, and he downs 2 of them. Octanes with a beautiful flank right there, and Flames. Good job holding your ground, staying alive, and on time for the flank. 3 versus 1 situation right now for the New York God Squad.
Yeah, the COG team broke ice there by getting the first kill, but New York God Squad just came in and cleaned it up after that.
Yeah, great first round of action. I hope you guys are as excited as we are to watch Gears of War, guys. Gears of War 1, probably, you have the traditionalists that say it's the best Gears of War game of all time. Gears 3, Gears 1, it's a tough debate, but either way, Gears 1 is fun to watch, in-your-face action. It's very simple, which is what makes it such a nice game.
It's simple. It takes skill. It works. I mean, I guess it pretty much depends on what you grew up with and which Gears game you prefer. But 1 and 3 are both just fantastic.
No doubt. So for a lot of you guys, you haven't watched Gears 1 since 2008, right? It's been a long time for a lot of people.
There's been like lanes interspersed in between there, but I mean, this is one of the first lanes in a long time for Gears 1.
Especially the one that's been streamed to a mass audience. So for a lot of you guys, this is your first time, maybe your first time ever watching Gears 1, so we'll make sure to explain some stuff. Maybe your first time in a while watching Gears 1. Either way, that last round we saw a heavy boom strat actually from New York God Squad. And I will say, going into this Gears 1 tournament, New York's God Squad is my favorite to win the event.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And they're running 3 snipe right now, so you're seeing a different strat. Teams usually like running 2-2 or 3 snipe. Get in and get out with the snipe.
Oh, we're seeing a 3-snipe for both teams. Supremos goes down, but Praise takes out one.
Oh.
Loco with a beautiful flip shot, but he gets taken out right after. It is not looking good for Gucci.
Gears 1, everything just plays out so fast.
Oh, big 1-versus-1 going on right now at the boom shot. We got Octanes versus, I'm not sure who that is. I think it's Carmine of the COG team. And Carmine's going to push, kind of ill-advised push, as he's going to get taken out there. And it was Venom, actually.
Yeah, it didn't look like he had the communication from his teammates that his one-on-one opponent and some help.
Last member of the COG team alive. You see boom shots flying. You see blood gushing from the shotgun. And there it is, 3-0 New York God Squad.
Look how fast it's going. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. We've already played 3 rounds.
3 rounds out of 4.
Gears 1 is quick.
That is true. I mean, not to say Gears 3 isn't. I think Gears 3 is much faster paced. And back in our day, Gears 1 got slowed down. But the new style of Gears 1 play, it's almost like these players played Gears 3. They adapted to a new style of play, and they took it back to Gears 1. This is something we've never seen. Back when we played at the highest level, and of course Infinity had their era of dominance, the Insanes, etc., we never saw teams play this aggressive. We really didn't.
No, probably not on land. No, we did not.
Definitely not. Yeah, big MLG tournaments, a lot of money on the line. And we saw, okay, so I know what that was right there. That was Venom calling a strat. That strat right there is called Siva. You remember the Siva. Shout out to TLR, Cloud, one of my favorite people ever in the Gears of War community. We miss you, man. Siva was an old trick strat that TLR used to run. I guarantee that was Venom calling it. It's a 2-2 flank tower. Unfortunately, did not work well as the Locust team was all over it. 4-0 New York God Squad, map 1. So what do you think about the gameplay so far? It hasn't really been...
It's so fast. I mean, we just finished the whole map in like 3 minutes.
Crazy, something crazy.
You have one team that's pretty well established playing Gears 1 with each other for a while against a team that's a pickup, but
it's true.
They're just very fast-paced.
That is true. And these, the New York God Squad guys, don't think they just got together and started playing. They've actually competed in multiple local lands together. NJ Halo over in New Jersey. That's why they're called the New York God Squad. They really run the East Coast as it relates to Gears of War.
They actually won a Gears 1 tournament that Jason put on in December.
Okay.
It was I think it was kind of the kickstart this hype resurgence this year, because we've had 2 Gears 3 events and that Gears 1, but I think it had like 6 teams, but people came out and it got some viewers, and I think kind of kick-started everything back into gear.
I will say what did it for me, shout out to Eloquence. Eloquence is a female Gears player. She's an awesome person. I had the chance to meet her at Winter Brawl 8. She hosted the Goats versus Jokes tournament. Do you remember that back in February?
Yep.
And I was awakened, I guess. People use that expression. The Gears of War community woke up essentially from that tournament. People realized, wait, there's a Gears tournament going on. It was an online tournament, of course, but that's really what started everything. Next thing you know, Hypefestation Winter Brawl 8 was scheduled for February.
Yep.
Next thing after that, we got the news that Black Tusk and Microsoft acquired the rights to Gears of War from Epic Games, and that is really why we're here today. There's a lot of positive energy. Trust me, guys, the future of Gears of War is in good hands with Black Tusk Studios.
Definitely, I agree. And a couple months ago with those online tournaments, there's like a resurgence. For a while, it seemed like every weekend you're commentating a different tournament, and there's always a bunch of teams, and it was just great to see. I was surprised. Like, this Gears pretty much has been dead.
Yeah.
And to see just the activity that it has now is unbelievable.
Seriously. And let me tell you, commentating a tournament every weekend didn't have much of a social life, because you know how those tournaments are. Until 3 in the morning.
Long and late.
Senior year of college, too. So it was long, but it was definitely worth it, because that's why we're here today. And now we see some Clock Tower gameplay, guys. This is interesting. Praise picks up a kill, but this is interesting because Gears of War 3 also features Clock Tower. So some of you guys that are new to the game, this map is going to look familiar when we get the Gears of War 3 action going. Octane picks up a kill on Crackshot. Also gets a double kill on Venom, and it's a 4 versus 1 situation. Not looking good for the last Locust member. Flames and his team are on the prowl. Oh, Young Deed picks up 1, but gets taken out right after by Octanes.
Yeah, I mean, this is just probably what we're going to expect to see the entire match. New York God Squad dominating.
I don't think, honestly, they're going to play against Fatal Strike.
Fatal Strike's team with Ribs, Genesis, and Chubbs.
Yep, I think they'll be a decent squad. They've been practicing. Fatal Strike took it really seriously, man. He was very disappointed that we only had 4 Gears of War 1 teams. A lot of the Gears 3 players, people like Franchise, Glory, They decided to opt out of the Gears 1 tournament because they have a big Gears 3 tournament today. They did not want to get adjusted to Gears 1 because Gears 3 and Gears 1
are a jarring change going from Gears 3 to Gears 1.
Almost night and day, honestly.
Yeah. Gameplay is just so different.
Meanwhile, Praise is just taking one-on-ones down low. He has no fear in the 1 versus 1. But here we go. A push from the Locust up top. Praise picks up another kill. 3 versus 2 situation. Members of the Locust down. It is not looking good for them. Flames with the Flames with a beautiful double kill right there. The chunk followed by a melee.
And people might be wondering while we're watching one player right now, Gears 1 does not have the spectator mode that Gears 3 has.
Yeah.
Because I remember back at MLG, 2 people were on the stream, and then they had the main screen that had 4 players, and that was the extent of it. You couldn't watch everyone. There's really no ghost cam. There's like the set cameras.
Exactly.
So the spectator mode has come a long way.
Yeah, you take it for granted. You know, you really do. We've had it for a while now, and we don't realize how much work Epic Games put into developing that spectator mode.
Yeah, that spectator mode is a life.
It's crucial. I mean, you can't cast, you can't commentate without it. Call of Duty has their version now that didn't happen at launch, but now they have their version as well. So we have one input.
Games.
It is. Yeah, we have one input. We can only watch one player. Back in the MLG days, they had to rotate between players. But right now, we only have one input, so we can only watch Flames, but we will rotate if he dies. Doesn't look like he's going to die, as he's about to pick up a double kill. 2 members down. Try to get his revive. Oh, nice 1 versus 1. 1 versus 4 situation, and Young D is going to get taken out.
Yeah, you see Gucci, their team, being able to get some kills sporadically, but it just seems like every time they get a kill, New York God Squad gets 2 more.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Uphill battle for them.
Yeah, and then some of you guys might be wondering, is there a King of the Hill coming next?
No.
No King of the Hill in Gears of War 1, guys. There was execution only.
Yep.
Same with Gears 2 was execution only, guys. The hardcore players will tell you King of the Hill should not be in Gears of War. What do you think, Ryan?
I've come around a little bit. I like King of the Hill. At first, it was just so jarring. It's such a different form of gameplay for Gears, but I think King of Hill is a place if it's done right.
Definitely. Oh, it's so close yet so far.
Oh, nice kill by Venom.
Beautiful kill. Here we go. A round potentially praised, and here we go. If anyone can clutch this 1 versus 4, it is praised. He takes out crack shot. 1 versus 3 situation. Look, he's putting shots here. We might see the first clutch of today, ladies and gentlemen, with praise here. Pushing a 1 versus 1 back pillar. He gets him full red. Oh, but he gets taken out by Young D with the blind fire on the wall. So close, but so far for praise.
Gears 1 is probably the easiest game to clutch in for Gears because the damage is not done as quick as Gears 3. Because Gears 3, you get hit with the Lancer and you're done. Gears 1, you can kind of absorb a little more damage and get closer to players than you normally
No, that's spot on. And that's in our conversation. So I will tell you guys, Black Tusk being here, the new community manager who was announced on Friday, he showed up to the event on Saturday. Like, that's how hands-on Black Tusk has been. Another multiplayer designer was here as well, and we actually had a chance. Well, I wasn't here, but the players had a chance. Every team had a chance to meet one-on-one, or 4-on-1, I guess, 4-on-2, with the 2 people from Black Tusk and tell them their opinion on the future of Gears of War, talk about gameplay, and they took notes. They're going to bring it back for the development of the next game. Exciting to see. Really,
it's
it is.
Really cool.
And for me, the biggest thing is I think the damage output, which you were mentioning, is so high in Gears 3. I mean, you see people getting full redded super quick. Every weapon is just really powerful.
Yeah,
I think
it kind of restricts your movement a little bit. I think the movement speed and everything's great, but just the damage is toned down a little bit. I think you have pretty much a perfect multiplayer game.
Definitely. So we're going to see players backing out here because we're going to switch hosts. Of course, host in Gears of War is a big deal. Even on LAN, there's a slight
Gears
host
1
advantage.
especially.
Yeah.
Gears 1 host can really dominate. I mean, you saw that back in the MLG days, like Atmo, Z Killer, Puff, just all of them.
I hosted back in my day. All right?
I did as well.
We changed the game, so most hosts were fast paced. I actually used my Lancer mostly. People knew me in Gears 1 for as a Lancer guy. Any of the guys that followed Get Bronco or MBN in Gears 2 or Gears 3, the exact opposite, just all shotgun. But Gears 1, my style of play was much different. On my host, I like to sit back and abuse that Lancer.
But you could be dominant with it. Prison was like that as well when he came on the scene late in Gears 1, just a dominant Lancer on host.
And I want to say, when we were watching Gridlock, we saw the 3 snipe tower. First thing that came to mind was Retaliation in Gears of War 1. They defined that 3 snipe tower. Remember, they had the 2 sitting on the wall, followed by the 3rd Lancer. It was a very passive-aggressive strategy, and it's actually funny. So Retaliation at Dallas. Oh, wait, we're taking you guys back a little bit. Retaliation.
6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. Oh, my, crazy to think. Retaliation at Dallas. Oh, wait, I will never forget the largest Gears of War crowd I have ever seen. You remember that?
It was nuts.
Straight hood in the crowd. Me and you were right next to each other cheering for opposite teams.
Yeah, I was cheering for an Infinity, which was a future team of mine, and then you were going hard for the Underdogs Retaliation.
I always am an underdog
that crowd
guy.
was very pro-Retaliation. The RET.
RET chat, the 3 letters I'll never forget.
That was one of the most unbelievable things I've seen in person, like crowd-wise. The crowd was just packed. back to the wall. Everyone watching Gears.
Yeah, and if you think League of Legends, if you think Call of Duty has big crowds, I mean, this was not only big, but rowdy. Very rowdy. People are going crazy. Everyone's on their feet. I watch nothing against Call of Duty, great game, but I watch the stream. People are sitting down. I don't get that in esports, you know.
So Gears kind of reminds me of college basketball when you get a good crowd. Everyone's on their feet. It's crazy.
That's a good metaphor. It is. Yeah, it's a hype game, hence the name Hypefestation, and hence why we're here today. So,
Hypefestation, that was coined by CDN, I believe.
Of course. Only CDN can come up with Hypefestation.
That's definitely in his vocabulary.
We need to, and no one gives enough respect to CDN. He's really, I mean, everyone gives all respect to Barbosa, which he deserves for taking it over. But CDN is the reason we are here. I mean, he started Hypefestation on his own time, out of his own wallet. And Barbosa took over after that. Oh my goodness! Flames 1 versus 1 against Little B on the mid bridge. And here we go. Is this a 1 versus 1 situation or 1 versus 2?
I believe it's a 1v2.
If we can get a back button pressed, we can see what the situation is. Not sure if Small is watching or hearing. There it is. Hold down the back button.
Well, this is we're on Flames' screen. We don't have a spectator.
Oh, you're right. My fault. I'm going crazy. I'm so used to Gears 3. But here we go. No 1 versus 2 clutch from Flames. And just like that, Venom is standing up and talking a little bit of smack here.
They got that round.
Yep, there you go. We almost saw Venom. There's Venom on the far right. Such a good-looking guy.
Young Drake.
Young Drake himself. He's actually an old Drake. He's in his late 20s, Venom, isn't he? Mid-20s?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he's
not old, though.
He's not old. No, he's not old.
He's not CDN old.
In fact, yeah. The funny thing is, CDN's probably not in here watching because he's busy doing his thing. Yeah. So you could say those things.
He's got a heck of a stream going on now.
I
don't think he plays Gears anymore, but still a very entertaining person.
Yeah. And Pistol's firing right now from this Locust team. Flames pushing in right now.
What a play by Flames. I mean, I think we're kind of understating how good the NYGS squad is at Gears 1 right now. I mean, they're pretty much unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I mean, they are, if we were to go back, prime time of Gears of War 1, put Infinity against this in New York God Squad now. What do you think?
It's hard to compare. I mean, like back then when Atmo and Genetics were like 16 years old in Gears 1, I mean, they're just in their prime, and now everyone's kind of old.
That's true. They had all the time in the world.
It's very different, but
they're both homeschooled, both the two of them, right, in high school?
I'm not sure.
Jen goes to college now, I think. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they were home. They had a lot of time, I remember coming home. If I had a day off from school, they'd be out and practicing. If I came home early from school, they'd be out. They worked hard.
Yeah.
Atmo, hands down, you got to give him respect. Probably the best player in Gears of War history.
Oh, definitely. Especially Gears 1.
Oh, yeah. You can't
He
even
was telling me yesterday he's watching this event. He's kind of getting motivated again.
Is he really?
There's another.
Octane.
I think, we saw that from Flames' point of view, but that headshot that Octane just got was crazy.
Octane's with that Gears 1 sniper. Usually get active downs in Gears 1 because an active reload actually downs him in one shot, and now we got some team kills going on. But we also missed a nice 1 versus 2 clutch from Flames on mid-bridge. He was making plays, wall bouncing.
Yeah.
And, of course, the wall bouncing is restricted in Gears 1. You can't do it as smoothly.
But you can shoot over cover, like pulling off the walls a lot better. Like the back A's in Gears 3, you got to hold down the trigger. In this game, you can do it almost every piece of cover. And it added a real different dimension of the shotgun fighting in Gears 1. I think you had a lot more leeway to do different things.
Especially over the cover fights. Those are some of the best fights. And now you automatically see a mantle kick. You know, and it's tough to say whether you like the mantle or you don't like the mantle. What does it take skill? I don't think anyone can argue it does take much skill to use. So I think
I'll tell you what, mental. I've seen him utilize it a lot this
mantle
weekend.
Kick?
He's probably the best mantle kicker. I
don't know if
that's a term that anyone wants to own, but he mantle kicks the crap out of people.
So mantle kicks the crap out of people.
The mantle kung fu kick.
Mental kung fu.
And I'm really excited to see get mental to play on LAN today. I mean, just because this is his first LAN, and he's so good online, and I haven't got to see him play yet. And all the reports are that he's carried it over, and he's really good on LAN.
Yeah, it's okay. Good to know. I haven't been able to watch. Oh, Little B, we missed something. Little B gets a nice 1 versus 1 against Octanes. 2 versus 1 situation right now.
For Little B. Supreme and Flames alive for the Locust team.
There it is.
Supremos and Octanes, 2 players that viewers might not be aware of, but they are really good at Gears 1 and really good at Gears 3.
Oh!
What a kill by
Speaking of over-the-cover fights. Oh, here we go. Oh, but Flames takes him out. But speaking of over-the-cover fights, we see one right there. And if that was Gears 3, immediately you would have seen a mantle kick.
Yep.
Immediately. But instead, it slowed down a little bit. And look at Flames. 9 kills, 4 downs. We're not even
dominating.
Dominating. But that over-the-cover fight, beautiful back A by Flames. It's almost like he heard us and he wanted to show the stream what we were talking about. So the back A the over-the-cover fights were great in Gears 1. You still see them in Gears 3 a little bit, but the mantle kick kind of
Yeah, it seems like in Gears 3, I mean, you can't shoot over cover pulling off like you can in this game. And just like when you try to L-trigger over cover, it's so slow sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's just two different games, two different ways to fight.
We're seeing a 4 up top right now from the COG team. And look at Flames just putting shots in them, getting them weak. That's all he has to do. He just has to be patient. But Flames is also full red. And we're going to see a big fight going right now. Through the smoke, Octane picks out Young. And Lil B.
With the double kill.
Can he get 3? Bloodbath.
I think the last guy was down, yep, and that's it.
Literally a bloodbath in the
New York showing why they're the New York God Squad.
New York God Squad, and that's why we love Gears of War 1, right?
So quick.
So quick. What is that? It's a 5 minutes and 30 seconds. We
just
probably
took about 16 minutes.
A best of 3, a 16-minute
And
match.
we played Canals, which could last like 30 minutes.
Back in Gears 1, the original days, Canals would be 30 minutes, 35 minutes long. It was crazy. I'll never forget at that event I played with Venom. We were talking about Venom playing right now. Make sure to follow him on Twitter. I'm not going to say his Twitter because it's not the most appropriate.